fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps, and I'm joined now with Tiger Johnson. Tiger, it's nice to meet you.
You too.
So I love doing interviews with the superstars of tomorrow because there's just so much we don't know about you guys. And I just want to sort of dive into your history and sort of what inspired you to sort of take the journey that you've taken. Because right now, for people who are tuning in who don't know, you're on the road to the 2021 Tokyo Olympics, correct?
Right.
So first and foremost, what I like to ask is sort of what inspired you to want to become a fighter? I'm sure you've heard this or been asked this a couple times, but I love to know because I always joke and say that it takes a certain type of person to want to get hit in the head for a living.
It started when I was a little kid. I started boxing at 7 years old. On my father's side, I come from a family of boxers on my father's side. So he was gonna put me in, I think at 10, but he put me in early at 7 because I was kind of a bad kid. I used to fight a lot, and so he just put me in early, and I got good at it.
So it was for discipline, to sort of keep you structured and disciplined.
Right. And then I ended up getting good at it, so I just kept going.
Yeah. So you said that is your family in boxing as well, or how do they have history there, or are they just fans of boxing?
History. Most of the men on my father's side was boxers, so and they were good at it too. So I had uncles and cousins that were good.
Mm-hmm. What made you want to stay in it though? Because it's one thing to like it, it's another thing to love it. You have to love it to have done all the sacrificing that you've made. I was watching a few videos on you and you talked about the sacrifices your family financially also have to make to sort of keep you in boxing, to keep you on the road to the Olympics. So tell me a little bit about that.
When I first started, we had national champions at our gym already. I had Raynell Williams. That was a 2008 Olympian. So I came around like 06, 07. He was already on the USA national team already on his way to the Olympics. And he used to come home with like all kinds of USA gear, the book bags and the shoes and stuff like that. And I just wanted the clothes, like the shoes and stuff that he had. But I didn't realize how like important and serious the Olympics actually were. Mm-hmm. So as I got older, that's when I started realizing how important, national tournaments and being able to go to the Olympics, how important that was in your career. So then, it just started off, at first it started off just being, I just wanted the clothes and stuff like that. And then it went from that to being, I wanted to be an Olympian,
At what age were you when you realized that you wanted to take this, not just do it because you enjoyed it, but that you actually really wanted to make a career out of this?
I want to say like 10, around 9 or 10.
Okay. There takes a lot of sacrifice that comes along with, especially at your age. It's one thing as you get older, you start to realize that, your priorities sort of, what your priorities are. But at such a young age, you sort of knew what you wanted to do. And I applaud you for that, because not everyone can say at 10 years old, they really knew what they wanted to do with their life, Yeah. So what's your life been like making all of these sacrifices at such a young age? Because it's so hard to get children, and I'm not saying you're a child, but I mean just in general, children, young people to sort of, I guess take their lives seriously, but you're already there with it.
Yeah, I had like growing up, I had friends that was bad. That was like, what I'm saying, like a bad influence. They was doing what they was doing. And boxing just helped me stay away from, the negative, influences and stuff. So me being in the gym and going to tournaments for days at a time and stuff like that, that kept me out of trouble. And that was just like mainly my biggest influence, is being in the gym And as I got older, you know, it was just a priority. I just wanted to just keep getting better and just keep winning. And I knew I wasn't gonna be in school. Like I knew I wasn't gonna go to college, so
Mm-hmm.
I knew boxing was like the only thing that could really help me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I knew at a young age that school wasn't gonna be the thing I was gonna do.
Seeing that it's kept you out of trouble and has put you on this road, you know, really anything's possible at this point, especially you go on to win gold like you want, you know that the promoters are going to be knocking at your door to try to sign you up. Have you found that the people around you have also become maybe like better versions of themselves, sort of being inspired by what you've been able to do with yourself? Or have you found that you've had to distance yourself from a lot of people?
But you saying that I influence people?
Yeah, like, you know, because when you see someone who just has an idea, a spark of a thought, and then look, you're so close to the Olympics, like you had to make a lot of sacrifices along the way. So have you
Yeah,
found that you've motivated other people around you to sort of work hard and maybe stay away from the trouble, or have you had to distance yourself from people because, you know, you knew that you had to cut ties in order to make this happen for your future?
I I think my biggest I think the biggest influence I had was the younger kids in my gym.
Mm,
Um, a lot of the younger kids. I first made the team, USA team, 2016. So once I did that, um, I influenced a lot of the younger kids to, you know, want to do the same.
mhm.
So that was pretty cool to inspire them that way.
And I'm sure it kept you disciplined in the process.
Right, yeah,
They're looking up to you and believing you could do it, I could do it.
right.
What is it that you fight for when you get in the ring?
Um, myself, my family, and just basically, I just like doing something good for my city.
Mm,
You know, I want to be known. Like, okay, I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, so when people when people mention Cleveland, they always want to say, "Oh, LeBron James," and that's the main thing they say. So one day, I want to be able to, when people think of Cleveland, I want them to mention me too. So that's one of the bigger things I want to accomplish.
when you look at someone's career today, another fighter, who is it that you would hope to sort of emulate or come close to?
That I want to be like, basically.
Hmm.
Um, it's a couple of fighters today that you know that's a big influence. You got Terence Crawford, Shakur Stevenson, Canelo Alvarez, Errol Spence. Um, you know, it's definitely a couple of fighters
Have you met
out
any of
there.
them yet?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
not Canelo. I haven't met Canelo. No.
but you've met the others?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have a good experience meeting them?
Oh yeah. I actually sparred Shakur and Crawford before.
Okay.
Yeah. I sparred Shakur a lot of times actually. Back when I was smaller, the first time I sparred him, I was at 132. So he
Uh-huh.
taught me a lot. The times I sparred him, so
Hmm.
it was definitely a good experience
Hmm.
getting a chance to be in the ring with him.
Right. Yeah. What would you, or who would you say is your rival in the Olympics?
In the Olympics, um, I wouldn't.
Do you have any rivals?
I guess I have to say probably like Cuba or you know countries like Cuba, Ukraine, Uzbekistan, countries like that. Those like top countries
But
that
anyone in particular that from those countries that you look forward to the most in scoring off with?
I look forward to fighting Cuba.
Okay.
Yeah, so because he's the number one in our continentals in
Hmm.
my weight division, so I look forward to seeing him.
Hmm. So for people who haven't been able to see footage of you, how would you describe your style?
Myself, I mean, I'm just a laid back. I mean, everybody that know me, you know, I'm a silly person. I be chill, like I'm a chill person. I'm funny. Um, I'm just a laid back person, really.
Hmm. How do you keep yourself from the temptations of today when you're on the rise?
I just stay away. I know, when to stay away from bad influence, like when, you know what I'm saying, when like I know when to, okay, I'm gonna just chill and stay home today,
Mm.
you know what I mean? Just stay in the gym, just keep myself from getting in trouble basically.
I don't know you, but I could sense you got a lot of maturity about you, kid.
I appreciate it.
You do. You can sense that this is something you take very seriously and this is something you really want. Like I was saying, you get to that point, regardless of whether or not you win gold, you do well. You make a name for yourself. You're going to
Hmm.
have people knocking at your door.
Right,
Is there anyone
right.
in particular? I'm not trying to I'm not trying to put you on the spot or anything, but if
Hmm.
you do, some people do have an answer to this, others aren't. But do you have a particular dream in mind of like who you would want to be, advised or guided by?
You mean like
You turn professional,
professional wise, like advised by like another boxer or like a promoter?
like a promoter or management or something of that nature. Is there anyone in particular that you have that you would love to have as
Um,
a team one day?
Al Heyman, um, Matchroom, 80 Hearns, and Top Rank. It's like those three is like my my main goals.
Hmm.
Whichever three, I'm fine with that.
So right now you're fighting at 152 pounds in the Olympics, but when you turned pro, did you want to stay around like 154? Did you want to go to welterweight? How did you, how do you see your future starting off as? What weight class?
I want to start at I wanted my I at first I wanted to start off at 140, but my coaches were saying like they don't think I could. I probably hurt myself trying to get to 140, but I don't know. I mean, it's either 140 or 147, but
Hmm.
most likely it'll probably be 147.
Okay. Stacked division you're
Yeah,
entering into.
right.
Is there someone that you would think, I know it's early on to say this, but a lot of people have said this before, and at some point, like I'm going to use as an example, when Tyson Fury was coming up on the scene, he said, "One day I want to fight Vladimir Klitschko." And he did. He got to, I think, what, 10, 11 years later. Is there someone that you think, I'm going to fight him one day?
Uh, I don't know. I feel like all the top people at welterweight it's like I don't know. They so far ahead is that by the time I get a chance to make my way up there, they'll be either done moved up or I'm not sure because I think it's a lot of up and coming welterweights that that's coming up as well. So I'm not sure, but a fighter that I hope to see one day is Ryan Garcia.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, he has a few weight classes to go to make it to 147. But
Yeah.
what do you think of Ryan Garcia?
I think he's a cool boxer. I mean, I think he's okay. I
Hmm.
just
I
I
think
just
he's okay.
I mean he's a good boxer. He's definitely a good boxer. I just want my rematch from when we fought in the amateurs. That's all it is.
Mm. Well, you never know. The time can come.
Right.
Actually, I mean, I don't know at what point I could see him at 147, but I could definitely see him at 140 in the next year or so.
Yeah.
And
If
if you,
I if I start off at 140, he'll be someone I'll be looking for.
yeah, there's a lot of talk of, the new four kings. There's Tank, there's Haney, there's Garcia, and there's Teofimo. Who would you say is probably the biggest threat between the four?
You said Tank, Tiafimo, and Ryan.
Ryan and Haney. They're the
Oh,
four that
Haney.
people are they're sort of comparing them as to today's version of the Four Kings.
Um, I'm gonna say Tiafimo for right now. I'm gonna say Tio right now because he, he beat the top dog. which was Lomachenko. So for now, I have to say Tio for now. But all four of them is definitely all four of them are definitely be good fights.
Mm-hmm. I watched a video where you were asked about your thoughts on who you thought was going to win, Lomachenko or Teofimo. And I know it seemed there for a moment. It always seemed, and let's be honest, Lomachenko was the favorite. Everyone saw him as invincible.
I actually, for some reason, I had Tio win in that fight. That like when people was asking me who I had winning, I didn't really pick no one. I was like, man, I'm not sure because Tio, the style that he got and him just being a hungry fighter. You know what I'm saying? I just had a feeling that he'll just edge him out. You know what I'm saying?
So you weren't surprised at all when it did happen?
I was actually going to bet on that fight. This is the crazy part. I was actually going to bet on that fight, but we was I think we was in Paris at the time, so the time difference was like all messed up. So, yeah. But that night before they fought, I was going to bet on Teofimo. And I was just like, man, it'd be just my luck, just because I'm betting, things go left. So I was like, man, I ain't gonna bet. So I woke up, and it was like, I think I woke up into like the 6th round, and I was watching, man, and it was just a good fight, and Tio ended up winning, and I was just so mad. I was like, dang, man, I could have bet it, but I actually had him winning.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think anyone watching that really would. Oh no! Oh, you're saying that you had him winning prior to
that. Yeah. I had a feeling that he was going to edge him out.
Right. Well, it seems like regardless of what division you go into, 140 or 147, it's going to be an exciting ride for you, to say the least, because there's a really, really tough competition in those divisions. We also have Josh Taylor and Jose Ramirez fighting for the Undisputed. Who do you favor in there or in that fight?
Probably Josh. I'm probably saying Josh. I'm not sure though. I really don't know.
Tough one.
Yeah, I don't know. So it probably Josh.
Why do you give him a slight edge?
They both. I mean, I feel like they both gonna. I don't know. I feel like it's a toss up, really. I don't know. I can't really pick one. I feel like it's a toss up. Yeah, I can't really say.
Yeah, I never do predictions, and like ever. So when people ask me, I'm like, I'm genuinely mean this. Like, it's a real 50-50 fight for me.
Yeah.
Another thing is we're starting to see more undisputed fights happening, which is fantastic. Another one that's set to be announced, which hasn't formally been announced yet, is Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua. Do you have a favorite in that fight?
I think Tyson could probably edge him out.
Yeah?
Tyson Fury, yeah. I think it would be a good fight, though.
Do you see it going the distance, or do you see it being like someone stops someone?
I think it can go distance. I see it going distance.
As a fight fan, which is obviously something you are, you wouldn't be doing this if you weren't. As a fight fan, what's a fight that you'd like to see be made?
Yeah, I like to see. I want to see. Teofimo and Tank. Crawford and Earl Spence. I actually want to see Sean Porter and Earl Spence again. But yeah, Crawford and Earl Spence, Tank and Teofimo, and Devin and Ryan.
Mikey Garcia just told me last week that he was hoping to, if he can't get, the fight with Manny Pacquiao, he was thinking of Sean Porter.
Who? Oh, you said Mikey. Mikey. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know about that one.
No.
I think Sean to get him. I think Mikey too small.
Yeah, I mean, he wants to go back to 140, but he said he's waiting to figure out what's going on with the winner, because he doesn't want to go to 140 and then his stablemate, Jose Ramirez, ends up becoming the undisputed champion, because obviously his goal is to get a shot at a world title belt. So there's no point in him making that move if he can't fight for a world title, Terence Crawford, Errol Spence, Terence is saying the fight's never going to happen. Do you think he's just saying that? Do you think he's just sort of playing a bit of mind games there, or do you think he's really over it?
Well, I mean, the offers that Earl was giving, I mean, I would have gave up too. I mean, the offers was crazy, so I don't blame him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I mean, if the fight, if he doesn't, you know what I'm saying, doesn't care about the fight anymore, I don't blame him. Just off the fact that the offers that he was getting.
Man, I done slapped the table when I read that. I was like, what? No, we have to keep this going, because it's one of those fights, and unfortunately what's going to go down in history is the fight that should have happened and never happened. You know what I mean?
I think they're going to fight one day, though. I don't think it's going to be soon, but I think that fight's going to happen.
Yeah, but let's just not make it a Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather type of situation. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
That wait way too long. It was like way past the due date.
Right.
Yeah, that sucks. Hopefully it won't be that. Hopefully it's just sort of calling his bluff and making, you know, maybe the offer will come back different. I think it should be a 50-50 fight personally.
Mm-hmm.
Or even like a 60-40 to the winner. Sounds fair to me.
Yeah, I was saying, yeah, that's basically what I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
You know, winner takes 60-40.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It's like, okay, well, whoever wins will take the majority cut. Otherwise, if you can't make it a 50-50 fight, then at the very least, a 60-40 sounds fair. But then again, who the hell am I? I'm just an interviewer. You know, I'm not the one in the ring. So.
Right.
Well, you know what? I appreciate you taking the time to do this interview. I'm really excited for you, and I wish you nothing but the best. And you know, it's what, this July now, right? It's not long now.
Yeah, we leave when we leave, July? Yeah, I think we leave in July, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And the games end August 8th.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You nervous?
No, I mean we ain't not now because we ain't there yet, but now we have these Olympic qualifiers, so I gotta get past this, which is in May in Argentina. So once I get past this, then, you know, we'll be getting ready for Tokyo.
Well, regardless, I see you having a bright future. So I wish you nothing but the best. And
I appreciate it.
When the time comes, I'm sure I will circle back and do another interview with you when we have something to sort of base off of, whether you're going or whether it's post-Olympics or you just signed with somebody. So I'm sure you're going to have no problems with the offers.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll be catching up with you in a few months then.
Okay, take care.
All right, thank you. You as well. Hey Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you do so by clicking this icon right here, or else